Hello, this is Rakesh Rao from DesignSense Software Technologies, Bangalore. In this GeoTools video running on ZWCAD 2025 version, I'm going to show you how you can assign properties from neighboring text objects and assign them to points and polyline vertices. In this example, you can see a drawing in which we have a polyline, which is a 2D polyline. So if you list it, it will show the elevation as 0 for all these two polylines. And we are going to now assign vertices to these polylines using our tool from the conversion menu, and it's called assign properties. You can type gt_asn_prop on the command line also to run this command. There are several options available for you. First, what type of property you want to assign. So most often it's elevation, so that has been chosen. And where do you want to inherit the property from? So you can see here in this drawing we have text objects, so you can choose text. But if you have blocks at all these points, then you can choose the block option as well. When you are processing polylines, you have an option to either acquire the elevations only for the first and last points or for all points. Now typically in most cases all points would be more logical, but this option also is provided in case somebody needs it. Now in this case you can see that this is a 3D polyline what I have with 0 elevation. So it's a heavyweight 3D polyline and you can see the elevations are all 0. And this is a 2D polyline. So the option that you saw just now specifies how the 2D polylines will be treated. So if you choose this option, the 2D polyline will automatically get converted into 3D. Now this is probably most commonly required, so we have offered that as the default. You can also specify where the distance is to be measured from, which means from the vertex point of the polyline, whether you want to measure the distance to the nearest visible point on the entity or to the insertion point of the text. Nearest visible is okay here. The last two options specify how the inherited properties should be treated. Now if there are vertices very close to each other, then you can have this option enabled, which will ensure that the property will be inherited from the vertex only once. So this prevents the same elevation from being assigned to two different vertices which are very close to each other. You can also specify whether the text objects must be deleted after the vertices have been given their elevations or not. Search distance is how far to search from each point. So you can choose as per your drawing. So I'll say OK now, and now it's asking through this selection filter what type of entities you want to select. So I want to select these two polylines here and say OK. So it's done now. So how do you verify? Just select this and I'm going to list it. So you can see that already we have elevations here. So if you zoom in here, for example, to this point, so I will do an ID from end of this. So this is 4.5 and this 4.5 elevation has come from the text. Similarly in this case, you can see that all the elevations have come. So this was a 2D polyline got converted to 3D. This was already a 3D polyline and it has just assigned the elevations into it. Now in a similar manner, you can also assign elevations to points which are next to text objects. So we go back here to conversion, assign properties, leave all the options as same. So now I'm going to choose a point object here. So I'm going to select all of this. It's going to filter the text out and only the points will be selected. It's done now. So now if you go select these points and if you list it, you can see that it has elevations taken from the nearby text 4.55 and 4.510. So this is a very useful and handy tool for people in professions like surveying and mapping, where you get lot of 2D data, where the 3D information as elevation is available as text, but it is not inside the polyline vertices, or it's not inside the point. So this tool helps you to convert your 2D data into 3D data very easily. Now we have shown this program working on ZWCAD, and it works identically in other platforms like AutoCAD and BricsCAD, Aries Commander as well. Thank you for watching this video, and do let me know if you have any questions.